What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of the CubCast Daily, our new daily news section we are running here on the channel, exploring different conversations, discussions, breakdowns, lists, charts, and everything in between surrounding international music. And obviously, we are very heavily focused on Afrobeats and Amapiano here at CubCamTV. First of all, before we actually get into the general topic of this video, I wanted to send a massive thank you to all the new subscribers on the page. You guys have been absolutely killing it. There's no other way around it. For the last sort of 3 or 4 months, I've been able to make YouTube pretty much my full-time job, and it's down to you guys essentially supporting the channel, giving me really, really good feedback, being very honest in the comments, but also, more than anything else, just appreciating what we're doing. The comments mean so much. Honestly, liking the video changes it changes drastically how many people are actually able to see it, how many sort of timelines we pop up in. So if you are feeling to support the channel in any way, give the video a share onto your social media platforms. Just like the video, give it a comment, or even just continue watching. It makes such a difference, and honestly, the journey we've been on over the last year is absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to say thank you before we get into today's topic, which is an interesting one. I'll say very, very briefly. We do have an end-of-year subscriber goal that we're trying to hit, which is, I think we agreed on 67,000 subscribers. That's the aim we're trying to get to by the end of the year, and we could do that with your help. So if you are new to the channel and you want to support us, please do get involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Now, this is going to be an interesting discussion, and I want you guys to get involved in the comment section purely because this could be a little bit controversial. This could be an interesting one. I'm really, really keen to see people's opinions on this just as an overall topic as we look at an official remix that has been announced for undoubtedly one of the biggest Afrobeats tunes of the year, if not the last, realistically, 5 years. It's an absolute sensation of a tune. The things that have happened off the back of this, the TikTok virality of this tune is absolutely incredible, and we are, of course, talking about OXLADE's Colosa. For me, I actually listed this as my favorite track that has been released this year within the Afrobeat sound. I love how infectious it is. I love the energy. I love OXLADE's performance. There's just so much about it to like. And again, the colors version is something I really, really do enjoy. Now, this is a track that has officially had a remix announced as of today. This is the first that I'm hearing of it, and you'll see from the artwork that we have on the right-hand side of the page, CABELLO is going to be the artist featuring on this remix. Now, before we dive into sort of some of the stats and sort of statistics surrounding Colosa as an original, the first thing that people will notice about this is that this is almost a carbon copy sort of approach as Selena Gomez appearing on Calm Down. Just in every single way, from the sort of style of artist that's coming on board, the sort of international acclaim of the artist that's coming on board, the sort of time period, I feel, between the track blowing up significantly and becoming such a phenomenon and then the remix being added on. Everything about these campaigns, I think are going to be very, very similar. This is also very similar towards the end of last year where we saw Ed Sheeran jump on the official remix for Fireboy DML's Peru. This is happening in the same sort of period. So we're also in this video going to be discussing the idea of formula and formulaic approaches to this sound and this style as it grows on an international scale, and whether that's a good or a bad thing. First of all, though, I want to kind of start with obviously the positives about Colosa, which is, in my opinion, one of my favorite Afrobeats tracks ever. I love it. Again, I love the colors performance of it. I love all the dance routines that have come off the back of it. I like the fact there is a sped up version which has gone viral. I just love everything the track kind of represents, and I think it's a really good representation, more than anything else, of what OXLADE is able to do as a vocal artist. If we actually look at some of the official stats, again, it's into the top 10 color sessions that have ever been recorded. I think it might actually be higher than that now. It might be in 8th or 7th. The last time I checked, it was in 10th. But yeah, it's also the 3rd highest streamed Afrobeats track that has been released this year. I know that the Peru remix has more, and I know that Love No Entity has more, but they both weren't released this year. So we're talking about tracks that have strictly been released this year. OXLADE Colosa is the number 3 track on that list. Actually behind obviously Calm Down and Last. So they're the two that are in front. I believe Calm Down is first, which includes the remix package, I think. And then on top of that, you also have Last, which is in quite a close second. I think there's about 25 mil between them, which sounds like a lot, but in the sort of places where they are, it's like 200 mil and 175, 76 mil. So they're moderately close in regards to the time span they've been out. And I think Last may actually overtake it if you actually look at the time spans. But again, this is a track that I feel led the way in regards to introducing a ton of new artists to the Colors platform. I love the approach to it, and more than anything else, I just think it's a great representation of OXLADE being himself, bringing both his sort of visual identity, his vocal identity, all of these things that we love OXLADE for. I feel Colosa is almost like the perfect amalgamation of all of them, and we've seen him being brought out by Usher to perform it. Again, it's a viral tune, and that tends to be what happens. So it is now remix time, and I want to talk about the concept of formula. Purely because we have seen this exact thing happen before. It was the Selena Gomez remix of Calm Down. Again, a slightly alternative approach to the instrumental structure. Not necessarily a breakout tune for Rema, but definitely a tune that was banging before the remix happened. Like, this was a tune that had global success already locked in. Again, we spoke to the producer of the tune, Andre Vibes, on the channel. Check out the interview we did with him, because you'll be able to hear a lot about the sort of thought process and the sort of thinking behind the tune as it was being made. Again, check that out on the channel, because it's a very interesting conversation we had with Andre Vibes. Great guy as well. Wicked producer. Has produced some of the biggest tracks of this year. Again, I want to talk about whether formula is good. Now, if you have a track that is going to go viral, and you know it's going to go viral, and then suddenly you're looking at a track that is on 75 million streams alongside the YouTube views, which absolutely banged. This is before we even start to talk about TikTok as a concept and as a platform. At this point in time, I think this is going to start becoming the norm, because we've seen, obviously, we've seen this in different genres and sounds and styles. We saw kind of people like Ed Sheeran years ago jumping on sort of dancehall sort of sounds that were quite viral at the time, but we've also seen it happen the other way. We've seen it happen in reggae for years. We saw sort of big reggae artists remixing like very popular pop tunes. We saw that in the 70s and 80s all the way through. We've seen tons of times where people will jump on, for instance, Vibes Cartel jumping on the on Ramping Shop, which is obviously originally, I think it's a Neo instrumental originally, which is Is it Miss Independent? I can't remember. Whatever it is. But that's something that has constantly happened within kind of musical evolution, and as sounds grow and a sort of artistry grows, this is something that's going to continue to happen. Whether I would have picked Camilla Cabello as to be the artist that was going to jump on this, I wouldn't have said so. I'd have probably gone someone like Bieber, if I'm completely honest with you. Someone that is already like semi-recognized in this space, someone that has already kind of had that introduction. I don't think it needed to be someone who, as far as I'm aware, has never released or worked alongside an Afrobeats artist, at least in the time that I've been listening to what Camilla Cabello has been doing. I've never really listened to her, so I can't really say that with absolute authority and conformality, because I don't know, if I'm being entirely honest. I've never listened to her, which is why I look at it and go, interesting. Is this her? But basically, what we need to work out is whether this is her going, okay, I see an opportunity for a viral tune, I'm going to take what I can from it, or this is OXLADE going, okay, I want to get what I can from you being on this. We need to work out which person this benefits more. Realistically, in the long run, it will probably benefit OXLADE more, just because it will be introduced to a ton of new fans who will then love what he's doing and follow his work very, very closely. It's what's happened with Rema. It happened with Fireboy DML as well. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the potential bad thing is the sort of what did happen with Peru on a sort of global scale, which is the remix is remembered more than the original. That's something that I never really like seeing from just from a listener's perspective. I always prefer the original to be the one that is like, that's the one, that's where all the sound comes from. It's sort of 50-50 with what happened with Calm Down. I think, to be honest, I think the original is so timeless, the performance of the original is so timeless that it's going to be very difficult for that to be kind of wiped off the map. We did see a TikTok video go viral today, actually, which was Camilla literally doing a dance routine, not the best dance routine in the world, if I'm being entirely honest, to Colosa, and that's sort of apparently the reason this has come together. So it's interesting. It is very interesting. Again, will this work? This will undoubtedly do crazy numbers. Again, she's got a very, very loyal fan base in a similar realm and bracket to Selena Gomez. This is literally going to be a scenario, I think, where a ton of new listeners are going to flood towards what OXLADE's doing. Whether this is a good or bad thing for the sound overall, I don't know, is the honest truth. I think there's only a certain level of sound can go without kind of expanding into new kind of territories and new sort of fan bases. But then again, you don't want to lose what the genre has. You don't want to lose those sorts of core values and core elements, I suppose, that make it so so special. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch, very interesting to view. I think this one does drop at midnight, so I'm going to stay up to midnight and get a first listen in on the channel. If you want to stay up to midnight with me and have a look yourselves, that's going to be probably going up at about 20 past, probably be up at around 20 past, depending on whether the video gets blocked. But I'm going to make sure that does go up tonight. But again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. I think this could potentially be a track that does topple the Selena Gomez remix of Rema's Calm Down off the top of that Afrobeats chart, the US Billboard one. I don't know whether it will. It might do. I'm not too sure whether they've left this too late and that top one's already been there for so long that it's no longer ever going to be knocked off the amount of weeks it's been up there. I don't know. But again, I'm keen to hear all of your thoughts. And again, I'm really keen to hear like what you think this will do genre-wise, whether it's a good thing, whether it's a bad thing. And again, I don't want to kind of steer people in the direction this video may come across that I'm being quite negative about this. It's not that at all. I'm literally just kind of say these could be the positives and these could be the negatives. And often the negatives sound a lot louder than the positives when you put them next to each other. But that's not the case. I'm genuinely very neutral in this. I want to just see what happens and then we can assess it as we go. But again, let me know your thoughts in the conversation, in the comment section down below, and we'll continue to do our journalistic duties covering these sort of stories as they land. I'm keen to see what you guys think. Let me know. That's it from me though. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, do make sure you are getting involved in the channel by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace.
Them sounding so good right now, but they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCam TV. Stay locked.